Hey everyone, it's Aaron Runk. In my last video, we went over like an introduction to some 3D surface milling. And in this video, we're going to go over some different methods that will seem advanced, but as we do them, you'll realize that they're actually pretty easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have to have my premium solid model download and my Okuma post processor. I'll need those. Those are in the description below. And I'm going to go through. It's going to seem like I'm going fast, but if you paid attention to my last tutorials, you should be right on track. So I'm going to hit create new document. I'm going to hit cancel. It's obviously always going to want me to build some stock first, but we're going to do that in just a second. I'm going to go to cancel, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop my model into the window, and it's asking me if I would like to import it. And I'm going to hit yes. So once it's imported, we're going to use our wizard. So I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to go into my isometric view. Now this is really cool. I'm not going to leave my isometric view very much during this tutorial. So it will stay in this view the majority of the time, which is pretty cool because that's less that I have to do. So I'm going to pick two surfaces for Z. So I have one at the bottom. And then I come up and I pick one at the top. That way my Z is going the right direction. Then I'll hit next. I'll pick 2 points for my X, which I can pick one right here and one right here. And if it selects that surface, it's okay because I'm actually just selecting that line right there. So as long as that little square is following along that line, you're selecting it correctly. So I'll hit next. Then I'm going to go to block, and we're going to let it compute the sizes of the actual model. That way we can do all our surface milling. We don't have to worry about it gouging anything, because all I'm going to be doing is cutting these surfaces that require surface milling. So I'm going to hit next. I'm going to put my location in the top left. Now there is a tutorial that I have after this that I put it in the center, so it doesn't really matter where it's at, but for this one we're going to put it in the top left. So I'm going to hit next. There's not going to be any fourth axis for this. I'm going to hit next and finish. So right here it's going to automatically put us in this angle right here. I'm going to put us back in to our isometric mode, and down here I have a Mazak post processor from my last tutorial. I'm going to drag and drop that Okuma post processor, and you'll see it kind of flicker, and now I'm using an Okuma post processor. That's very cool about these CAM softwares, because you can just drag and drop and your machine will now spit out usable code for what you want to run it on. Alright, so let's get started by creating our surface milling. Now if you'll notice, my part's red. Now I can go right into features and start going, but if you have clicked off of it and it's gray like this, the first thing we want to do is we want to select it. I'm going to go to features, and we're going to go right to surface milling. I will hit next. It grabs all of my faces and all my surfaces, so if you don't see all these up here, you can do your box again and select it from there. I will hit next. We're going to choose a single operation. We're going to put a little bit more control into what we're doing. I'm going to go next. I'm going to come down here to roughing strategies. I'm going to go Z level. I'm going to hit next. It's going to be on offset spiral, on 3D boss, and it is roughing. So I'm going to go next, and it has a 1/2 inch end mill. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to hit finish. And then I have everything right here. So now I'm going to hit OK. Now that we have our roughing defined with surface mill 1, I'm going to select my model again, and I'm going to create a finishing surface milling. So I'm going to hit next. I'm going to go to choose a single operation, and I'm going to leave it on the parallel finishing. I will hit next, and then I have it on finish. We're going to go with X parallel. I'm going to hit next. We're going to let it do automatic. Now the difference between automatic and cut to the bottom where it rolls over the edges, or just over the top of the edges, will cause it to either come over the edge and all the way down, or, this is really cool, just roll over the top edge. So every time this surface mill goes to the edge, it will actually put a little rollover that causes a deburring effect. It does take a little bit more time, but it will look much better when you're done. But for this tutorial, we're going to stick with automatic. So I'm going to hit next, and then I'm going to hit next again. We're going to use the stock dimensions, and then I'm going to hit none for slope limits. And then I'm simply going to hit finish, hit OK, and now we're going to run it. Now I'm going to run it in my centerline mode so we can actually just see what it looks like. It will take a little bit to think. And that's all done. You can see all my purple there, okay? And green lines are going to represent my rapids, and the black lines are going to represent my feed lines. So I'm going to hit eject. I'm going to go to 3D, and I'm going to hit play again. Now I've sped this up because it does take a little bit to run. So it's going to rough. It comes in with that 1/2 inch ball nose, but it doesn't look very good. And I will tell you from experience, I don't want to go back and deburr any of this. This looks like a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit eject. We're going to go to our surface mill 2 where it does our finishing. I can either double click on it or I can right click on it and go to properties. And I'm going to come over here to finish on the parallel. And what we're going to do is I don't want to use a 1/2 inch ball nose. I'm actually going to come over here to create a new tool. And we're going to follow these instructions carefully. I'm going to make it a 250 ball nose end mill, okay, or you can just leave it 250 BN. It's going to be set to inches. Now I'm going to be hitting tab to go to the next level, but we're going to make it 250 tab 3 inches by 2 inches by 1 inch 750. We're going to leave it at 4 flutes, and I want the shank diameter to be 250 as well, and that's it. I'm going to make sure you hit apply, and you can watch over here. It will change, and then I'm going to hit OK. There's already a tool named this. That's fine. I'm going to hit yes and hit yes. Now that's because I already had a previous tool that was very similar to that, but that's okay. I'm just going to override it. No worries. So I will hit apply and OK. Now we're going to run the simulation again. So I'm going to hit play. And you're going to notice it's going to take a little bit longer because it is a smaller end mill. Now you can see from those stepovers, it looks a little bit better, but we're still not there yet. So again, I don't want to have to deburr all this, so I'm going to hit eject. I'm going to go up to surface milling. I'm going to go to its properties, but this time I'm going to go to the strategy on how it works. So I'm going to go into parallel finishing. I'm on the strategy of the 3D finishing. I'm going to click add perpendicular remachine passes. So what that does is where it was kind of gummy right here, it's going to come back and do a different axis when it goes to do that remachining. So I'll hit apply. I'll hit OK, and I will hit play again, and I'll speed it up just a little bit, and you'll see right here it's going to come back. It's going to clean up all those little areas right there. So we're getting a little bit better and a little bit closer to what we want, but it's still not there yet. So let's hit eject one last time. We're going to go back to the properties. We're going to go back to the finishing. We're going to come over here to milling. And if you look right here with our stepover, right now we're currently at 50,000 stepovers. So we're going to change this to 5,000. So I'm going to hit set. I'm going to hit apply. And I'm going to hit OK. And then I'll probably speed it up a little bit while it's running, but we're going to hit play one more time. And you can see that by changing that, it's going a lot slower when it was loading. And now it's actually going to run this whole part. But if you can tell, it's cleaning up everything so much better. So whenever it's coming in here, those stepovers are so much thinner that it causes such a better surface finish. Now you can see it still doesn't look good right here, but remember we turned on those remachining passes, so it's going to come up and it's going to clean up right there, everywhere where it needs that 5,000 stepover. And just like that, our part is not needed to be deburred. Now you will see a little bit right here, and if you see it, It may show a little bit of that, but out on the machine, we're looking at very minuscule mismatch that can be easily deburred if needed. So, again, the last thing we would want to do is we want to go File, Save As, because we don't want to lose all that work that we just did. I'm going to name this Basic 3D Milling. Now that we have it saved, we have our toolpath. We now have all of our dimensions and features set. So that way we can come back and make adjustments to it if we need to. But for right now, we have accomplished what we were trying to do. Now, if you want to take this a step further and learn how to engrave text or pictures on this contoured surface, come down here and check out this other video and take your 3D surface milling skills to the next level. Again, my name's Aaron Runt. Thanks for watching.